Get
This
into
may
man.
be a crazy question, but if your name is drawn to go to the Jack, is there an entry fee? Do you know that answer? Does it cost to enter?
Yes, there is an entry fee. It's listed in our criteria of the entry fee, and then of course when we send out the emails for y'all to sign up, that's one of the first things that is in there. It was free for many years,
Right.
and well, I guess for like 30, and then we just couldn't really do that any longer. So
Right.
there is, and I don't know of any
Do
that
you
that is not.
do you know what that entry fee is, or is that something you can say?
I do. It's 550, I believe, this year,
Oh,
and that
that's not
includes your
bad.
electricity.
Yeah, that's not
So,
bad.
and I want to
That's not
ask
bad.
you, since you are a new team, have you not read your packet?
I did. I went through all the packet and I read. I think it was like 12 pages. So I went through every one of them. I just couldn't remember. I saw like the receptacle, which receptacle I got. I just probably looked over
Right,
like the
right.
entry fee and stuff like that. But yeah, my wife and I, we've both read
Gotcha.
over it. Y'all, it's very detailed. Y'all don't leave nothing out. I know of right now we've probably got at least 6 teams that are on here that are coming for the first time, or not for the first
Big
time, but
deal.
repeats are coming. So we really do
Right.
appreciate it. We got a pretty good crowd on here tonight. It's really fascinating here. All right, so I've got a question. TNS Barbecue, I'm glad they popped this back. They asked at the very beginning. We wanted to kind of let this thing go and get into it. What are the chances of the Shade Tree division coming back or possibly happen at a different time? Don't know anything about it, so maybe you can elaborate. Do you know anything about the Shade Tree?
Yeah, Shade Tree was our backyard part of the Jack. We had it for
Okay.
15 years, and it just at the time it had just gotten to where our domestic and our international teams needed that space, and so you know we had it for that, and then they had to make the hard decision of you know uh, whether to just cut it out altogether. I really, I don't think once it's gone now, I really don't think that they'll ever bring it back. But what they say never. So
Right,
you
right.
just don't know for sure.
That's right. Yeah. You wants to know if you'll oversee the general elections in November. You're very thorough. That's funny. All right,
Somebody,
Brady Bodine brings up a pretty good question. And I know y'all probably are kind of stuck in your rules, but I'm going to throw this out. With the times being tough as they are, and everything's more expensive and less contest, would the Jack ever consider allowing a second year contest to be a qualifier with 20 teams instead of 25 teams on a second year? So a first year is 15, and then second year goes to 25. So what he's saying, with things being a little bit more tougher, would y'all ever consider if it's a second year, it's 20, and third year on has to be 25? Is that something y'all would consider? Or have y'all ever talked about?
um, we have not talked about. I don't know exactly what's um other than just giving them a little break, for that second year.
Right.
But I mean, if you can get 20, you can generally get 25. So I don't know. As as keeper of the teams, that would be hard to
Have to figure out which
keep
one
up
was
with.
which. Ooh, that would be hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd have to go back
yeah.
now and you'd have to research. Okay, this is the second. Yeah, that would be very hard to do. So yeah, good question. Keep it 25.
See,
I see
and
what you're
right
saying.
right now, this year's draw there consisted of 666 contests.
Wow.
So can you imagine taking those?
And
And
trying to
I
find
knew
the
which
ones that
one
are
were
20.
first year and which not,
Right.
but and so
Yeah,
it just it would be a little hard to do
that
that.
that would be very difficult. There would be a lot of backyard teams that wouldn't
Right.
move up because of the shade
Right.
tree. Okay, that's
Has the
true.
Jack
That's
Daniels thought about maybe grandfathering or giving golden tickets to prior Jack Daniel grand champions? Like for
We
3 year
have
entry
grandfathers.
or you do have it?
Well, we have grandfather teams in the international, the ones that have been with us since conception, so or inception.
Right.
And we used to have 8. Now we're down to generally about 4 of them, I guess, that still come. Maybe not every year, but maybe every other year or something. That they still come. So we try to do something like that for them. But it's just as hard domestic to get here as it is for the internationals too. So
Sure.
I'm not sure. That's not a question I can answer on that one.
Okay. All
Right.
right. Brady was talking about 20 teams from then on. 15 for the first competitions, 20 teams from then on instead of 25. I thought he was talking about, he said second year. I thought he was talking about the second year. So maybe just until things pick back up, if you're trying to get more teams, first competition, first year contest is 15. 20 from then instead of 25, lowering the 25 to 20, and that way you don't have to worry about trying to find one. It possibly could
Right.
help you because there is some of the cook-offs, are a little smaller and they do struggle to get. We have a couple cook-offs in Louisiana. Sometimes we struggle. We're at 25 or 26. It's like, God, please, guys, don't screw up and not turn in something.
Mhm.
So would y'all
Right.
consider maybe something? I mean, that's something we'll throw at you that you can go talk to the board about. You can't make the decision by yourself, but
Right.
we're bringing it up, and if that's something y'all want to do, then y'all can make an announcement that, hey, we're going to do that. So throw it out there
Right.
anyway.
Right. We've talked about it, and we've had it on our discussions list for probably 3 or 4 years now. Well,
Okay.
I know we've been discussing it since COVID,
Yeah.
but it's just
Yeah.
not a
Not the time.
discussion that has come up yet.
Right. Yeah. Carrie said the same thing. We had a few 25 team contests that had a DQ or missed turn in. Oh,
Mhm.
golly. Yeah. That's what
Oh,
I'm
I
saying.
know it.
The 20 would help that, So, all right, Pam.
It
I
would.
mean, things are rolling great. You're doing an awesome job. So, we know all the process, how it all comes in. I'm coming to the Jack. I'm coming down that hill. I
Yay.
see the big banner, the Jack Daniel Invitational. I was like, yes, this is so cool. I've already told people about Miss Mary Bobo's. You got to go there. Must do. Walking around town is awesome. Some great places there.